If you've watched any of my recent videos, you've probably seen this iconic snap. Peace. But anyway, today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I do it. Let's get into it. Okay, so today I'm going to be going over how exactly I do this snap cut at the end of my videos. But first, I need to actually show you how exactly I do the snap itself and how exactly to snap louder. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing is I'm just gonna go over it like real brief here, but you know, go like this, put your middle finger on your thumb and then snap like that. When you snap, it's not the sound of your fingers like snapping like that, it's actually the sound of these fingers tapping the hand. And I like to use my dominant hand because that's easier for me. I feel like to swipe across just like that instead of my other hand. I mean, I can snap like pretty equally with both, and it's also good if your hands are, I guess, if you have like soap on it or they're a little bit greasy, then it's gonna be harder to snap. This is kind of weird just me talking about this right now, but it's just something else, you know. If you just like wash your hands before, you'll have a better snapping experience. I can't believe I'm actually talking about this. It's kind of weird, but get a good distance back and then snap like this across the screen. Don't like go like this. Don't do both at the same time. You know, I mean, you could do it if you really want to. I personally like to go like this, but I'm gonna be showing you exactly how that works in just a minute. Also, make sure it is nice and emphasized and not like, just make sure you gotta put it back and then go like that, because it'll be a lot easier when you actually start editing, and I'll be showing you that in just a minute. Get a good arm movement, go across the camera and so the camera can see it right in front of you. That's just my tips for it in terms of snapping. Let's actually get editing. Here are these clips right now. We have our SD card here because the DSLR is right there. One other thing you want to look for is when you see this big spike in your audio, this portion right there, that is the big spike, and that's where you're gonna cut on, and we'll switch to the DSLR. Let's go. Okay, so we are currently on the DSLR now. As you can see, we have just me walking in right now and then going to the next shot. Let's just expand our timeline here. As you can see, once I snap, we can skip it by frame. So in your video editor, be sure to use the arrow keys and then press it so then you can go frame by frame. So right about here, I would like to stop. So on iMovie, what you can do is do Option / and then what that does, it cuts off the end of the clip. I use that quite a bit. And now we can get the next clip that we just filmed. And let's find out where the audio spike is. It's right about here. It's kind of hard to see. We want it to match up so it looks really smooth. As you can see, my hand is right there. And then starting on the next clip, it is like back over here instead of like over, it needs to be like over here. So what we need to do is cut it a little bit from here. And if your editor can't do that precisely, just like I said before, try to do Option / I'm sure you can do something similar to that on Windows. I'm sorry, I don't know that much about it, but see, it's a little bit off here. Let's get into it. Okay, that looked pretty good. And also, you can always find a snapping sound on the internet as well, but let's actually find something here. So something I like to use in iMovie is the golf sound effect. I'm trying to make it like as seamless as possible so we can like sort of split the audio like this. It's sort of split with two big dips here, and we can always like tone it down a little bit if we want to. But that's something I like to do to make it a little bit more continuous. And as you can see, the framing, it looks pretty good like this to that. There's a little bit of a blur because that's what the camera sees. I personally shoot in 1080p 60 frames a second, and that's what works best for this because you want to get the maximum amount of frames, at least for this. I know a lot of other people can shoot in 24 frames a second or 30 frames a second. Another thing to keep in mind is to stay in the exact same position, whether it's like the middle of the frame or it's to the side of the frame, however you like. But as you can see, the snapping is very natural as I'm going back and forth. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is color grading here. So what we can do here is to color grade it. As you can see, it's a little bit more cooler on the first scene here compared to this scene because it looks a little bit warmer. So we can turn it down. iMovie doesn't have the most advanced color correction on here, but we can just tone it down so it's a little bit more cooler. Okay, I think this is the best I can get right now. Make sure to have it lined up and go frame by frame by using the arrow keys. And you can apply this with anything, whether you do like a clap when you're transitioning or anything else. Maybe it's you punch the camera, something like that. This honestly took like less than a minute to do. I easily put this together. Let's just go to the outro. Okay, so this is at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're probably wondering why, Max, the past 2 days have you been putting out these shorter form tutorials that's a little bit more niche to something else, well, this is because I'm trying to help you guys a little bit more if you have like specific questions, because I believe that anybody can be a content creator, create anything online. Of what I think, I'm just this normal kid who just creates YouTube videos, and I think that I took the initiative, especially during this quarantine, to actually put things together, and anybody can honestly do what I'm doing. Like, I don't have like the most fanciest gear or anything. It's just that you gotta express what you have and just be more open to putting yourself out there, and that's something that I really am proud of myself for doing. But otherwise, I have really exciting videos coming out in the future. That is all I had for this one, guys. You guys know what to do. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace. You like my microphone? That actually kind of hurt. I hit the camera there, you know? I think that was my most intense snap ever, because I hit the camera, my finger kind of hurts there, but as you can see, same thing applies. I'll see you guys later. Peace.